Hello everybody, Father Pat Austin, MSC, talking to you on Mission Alive. And this story is about our bishop in the Northern Territory when I first went up there in the 1970s. He was Bishop John O'Loughlin. He took over from the famous Bishop Zell, and I found him a rather remarkable person. Very talented intellectually and a great leader, very pastoral, very conscious of his parishioners. And so let me tell you about one morning there at the presbytery in Darwin. It was a wet season. We had monstrous showers of rain. This particular night, it had poured all night, and as we came streamed into breakfast, several priests with myself, we stepped over a poor unfortunate fellow lying in the doorway, blue with cold and wet right through. But we were hungry. We were a young priest, we were hungry. We went straight to the table, waited till his lordship came, because he always said the grace, and we sat down after he sat down. He said the grace all right, then he stopped. We looked up at him. He said, "Did anybody see a gentleman there in the doorway?" And we all looked down embarrassed. He said, "He could have been St. Joseph. I want you all to go to your rooms," and he assigned each one with a task. Get a pair of shoes, you a pair of trousers, you a cardigan, you a hat, and so forth. And so we dried this poor unfortunate fellow under the guidance of our Bishop John O'Loughlin, and we put on his new set of clothes, or at least second hand, but they were nice and dry. And as I was adjusting the shirt of this gentleman, I noticed the name tag, Dr. O'Loughlin. I often wonder what the nurse would have thought when she was attending to this poor unfortunate man at the hospital, because we had the ambulance come and take him away. Yes, John O'Loughlin was, in my opinion, a wonderful bishop, and I must admit I often think of him and his advice that he passed on to me, a young priest. Thank you.
Following from Father Pat's story about Bishop O'Loughlin at the presbytery in Darwin is some photos of Bishop O'Loughlin, and in the top left is him with his predecessor, Bishop Zell. Then on the right, Bishop O'Loughlin a little bit further along in his life. Then in the middle at the bottom is a rather formal photo of him as bishop, and then as an old man. So that's something of his life. Now, some facts about his life. He was born in 1911. He was ordained priest in 1935 as a missionary of the Sacred Heart. He was appointed Bishop of Darwin, then ordained Bishop of Darwin, and then installed as the Bishop of Darwin. And all that was in 1949. And in 1985 he died. He went to the Second Vatican Council and attended all 4 sessions, and that would have been about halfway through his time as bishop. So there was a changing time that he lived in. And when he was consecrated bishop, the principal bishop was Bishop Boving from Adelaide, and Darwin and Adelaide have always and still have a special relationship. Interestingly enough, the two co-consecrators were Bishop Sharmak and Bishop Vestas. Bishop Vestas was the second bishop of New Pomerania, which is now the Rabaul Archdiocese. And Bishop Sharmak was his coadjutor and successor. So a very strong mission connection, as there was in that time. And then Bishop O'Loughlin himself was the co-consecrator for Bishop Doyle, who was the bishop of what is we call Eastern Papua, Sedia Alatau Diocese now, and Bishop Copus, who was the bishop and archbishop of Port Moresby. So again, the mission connection was still there. And so that's part of Mission Alive. Thank you again for watching Pat and hearing his story and a few other things about Bishop O'Loughlin.